Y'all can say what y'all want about the GOAT. But man, the GOAT, when I say I don't want no problems, I don't want no problem for y'all. Because like I'm not bringing problems to you. But boy, I'm going to damage something if I have to. And I'm talking about mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to make you think about me all day long, even when I ain't even there. Finesse, look at me. I know you wake up in the middle of the night sweating because, boy, you don't know where I'm at. You know my angle. So it's like, all I'm saying is, like, why be disrespectful to a like me?
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Everybody start clapping right now. We got some outstanding members in the building. Big homie CC.
What's that word?
What's going on, brother? Wonder Trump.
What's up?
I wonder why that's your name, but we're going to get to it. And the legendary Bob the GOAT. What it is, brother?
Y'all know what it is.
Man, some outstanding members, bro. That's
Extraordinary gentleman.
this is an extraordinary gentleman.
100%.
What's going on, man? Man, CC, I don't think I ever seen you with Bob before. Is this new relationship or what's going on? How did y'all click up?
See, this the thing. Like, it's not even new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, once he realized we was in the same area, he called me. He said, "Big fella, you in Dallas?" He's like, "Come on." You feel me? And we had been locked in for a minute, though. You feel me? Because, you know, I had ran into them in Vegas when he was with Hustle Cartel. They doing they circuit. You feel me? But, you know, like, we from the same side. You feel me? So, like, Bob a legend in the city. You know what I'm saying? So it was an easy link up, bro. It was an easy link up.
Yeah. Now, Bob, I've been following you for a minute, but we mainly, well, on my feed, you mainly come in from the gambling. You done broke some of the wealthiest niggas on the dice. So, you know, and I was doing research, you don't have that many interviews, or you're not really a talkative figure on the net like that, as far as not besides on your page. So what you know, give us a little bit of background on Bob the GOAT.
Product of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? A real red baby. You know, a lot of this gambling shit, like, people don't understand. Like, I've been doing this shit since I was a shorty for real. I ain't talking about 13, 14. I'm talking about 5 to 6. You know, but I was always a basketball player too at the same time. You know, for those that don't know, like, I was one of the top basketball players from grammar school, high school, college. You know, I went to college at Villanova. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that overcame the power, even broadcasting, the gambling and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But always at the same time was a product of the streets too. You know what I'm saying?
So you went to Villanova. What was college life like? You know, being in Chicago, like, we never hear anyone talk about education. Like,
and it was different.
Well, big homie, he's a genius. He's a genius, but that's the only he's something else.
Yeah, you know, it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different for a kid like me at the time, because I was, you know what I'm saying, I had just left Chicago and moved out to East Chicago, Indiana, West Calumet Project. And, you know, like, you know, I've been GD all my life, you know what I'm saying? And when I moved out to Indiana, I moved in the neighborhood with number CBLs and mafias, you know what I'm saying, vice lords or whatever. So as far as on the street angle of that, it was kind of rough for on a child at that time, 15, 16 years old mentally. But it never overpowered me to, like, do something different. So basketball, like, kind of blocked everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so good and I had, like, this certain type of mood that made people, like, glued to me. And, you know, one thing about every street nigga, they love basketball players. They love athletes. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying?
No, that's facts, bro.
You know, I was one of those real, like, little shorties that every game, like, nurtured to. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy, but at the same time, my brother was that dude too. You know what I'm saying? My brother Kojak, you know, he locked up right now. But you mentioned his name in Chicago, they know him. strong. You know what I'm saying? So Villanova definitely like gave me a different view on life.
Being from Chicago, right? What's your thoughts on Michael Jordan?
See, it's crazy because I knew him personally.
You knew Michael Jordan personally?
Yeah, I done played ball with him on several occasions.
What? Hold on. You say you played ball with Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
bro?
I told y'all I had one for y'all today.
You played ball with Michael Jordan.
Yes, I did. Me and Michael Jordan had the same trainer. Tim Grove. When I was in the NBA draft in 2002, the year before that, you know what I'm saying, Mike used to be at Hoops and then on Randolph in Chicago. So, at least 3-4 days out of the week, all the NBA players would come back, you know what I'm saying? Because Tim Grove, whoever he was training, whether it was Antoine Walker, Quentin Richardson, all of them, everybody pile up, we running games. Mike have it running like a regular game with reps and everything and training and all that. So, yeah, like.
That's why you Bob the GOAT.
Yeah, but before Bob the GOAT, you know what I'm saying, it was stand him up. You know what I'm saying? They used to call me stand him up on the basketball side, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I had this hesitation move that if you down in your defensive stand, I put that move when you standing your ass up trying to guard it. So
yeah. So what position you was playing?
Point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah, I was a big ass.
You still got it?
Oh yeah, they ain't going nowhere.
Damn.
They be hooping for money to this day.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I definitely play them for one-on-one, but I ain't
gonna do too much with it.
Nah, because I know them Achilles injuries and them knee injuries. I'm too old to come back from that.
Damn, that's some wild shit, bro.
Being a street nigga and an athlete, there's certain times where like you would be expected to put this over that. And I know you said basketball blocked all that out. How did that make the people that you dealt with in the streets feel about you?
I mean, to be honest though, like, when I was in high school, I went to St. Martin de Porres, Julian and Carvin. Like, when you go from a Catholic school, I was there for like 2 months, got kicked out. I go right into a strong CPS school on the south side of Chicago called Julian. And if anybody from Chicago, they know at that time in the 90s, Julian was predominantly GDs, but they had their stones and all this shit. So, and at the time, that was real structure at the time for amongst the guys. You know what I'm saying? So anything that was a pinnacle to that, it wasn't easy for a motherfucker like me because I was really in the streets. I was really plugged at that time. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this top basketball player, I shot dice all day long. I never went to class. I'm talking about them people used to give me grades, like just to keep me on the basketball court. But it got to a point to where it was like the game banging shit really was official at that time, and that kind of like overdrew that. You know what I'm saying? So, they always was in tune with me because shit, I was always glued to what they was doing. I was just on a different stage because I was a great basketball player too.
Bro, you beat some murder charges.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak on that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But some shit happened, you know how it go. Like,
right.
Not to go in strong details, it was just some situations that occurred. And shit, I allegedly supposed to did this and that, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter if it's over with or whatever. I still don't know nothing about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I had a body in 2 attempts with 3 other co-defendants. And then I had 2 separately on my own that was self-defense that got threw out. So, like I said, I came from under all of it. I stayed 2 years, 10 months in Cook County. But while I was in Cook County, I caught a attempt murder in a knife case inside the jail and came from under all of it in 2010 and shit. And been all right since.
Now, how do people look at you as this outstanding athlete with all this potential, and then the next one which you fighting bodies?
It was strange because like when like guys like Michael Jordan and Michael Finley, Antoine Walker and them, like all they knew was Bob the basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys like never looked at me as a street dude because the way I carry myself, like So for that shit to just pop up on the radar like that, and this at the time when I was playing with N1. You know, I used to play with N1 street ball. You know what I'm saying? So imagine being in the pinnacle of that. Just, you know what I'm saying, got within the finalists for the contract, then get charged with the body and 2 attempts, then 2 more come later on. It was kind of crazy. So, you know, people gave up on you, gave up on me or whatever. But those that knew me knew, like, I was just charged because, like, all my charges, even when we talk about the attempt murders and shit I call, it was always somebody allegedly saying, that's Bob work. And that's how Bob got locked up. It was never no victim or nobody saying Bob did this and that. Because Bob don't do that type of shit in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's just a alleged situation.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
It ain't real life. Just a real life street star.